Hey friends, how are you? Just giving you an update, well, friends and family. I haven't posted a video in probably a week and a half, maybe two, or shot a video. I am sitting in the trailer right now, and I'll give you guys a quick look. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't, well, I don't know how to shift it, so I would try and shift it so it's showing out of the other camera. But how about I stand next to you and give you a little tour. So if you look on the wall here, you're going to see three baskets. Those are Gladiator. It's a rack that screws on the wall, and the baskets and hooks hooked to. There it is there. It's relatively affordable, under $100. I've got three baskets and two rails up there. I've got a couple extra rails. I'll probably return at least one of those. If you look up front, I built a shelf with some compartments. One of the compartments, I moved one of my cabinets under it. You can see my stool. And then over here is an area, sorry about the glare. That's an area where I'm going to put a curtain rod. And if you look down the back, there's a gap. I've got some tall things that I want to bring with me. And so with some mounting rails and some rings, I should be able to put them in there and everything should work fine. And not really take a lot of floor space, not be in the way. I won't be tripping over it. Couple simple things. Put some strip LED lights up. I'll have another lighting option, but it's going to be really minimal. It's going to have to do with just simple reading lamps that plug into lighter socket. I'm going to put a couple of those in here, maybe three, and that's about all I need. But what I'm going to do, if you look at this trim right here, there's a gap in an opening behind there, and I'm going to use that as my chase for my electrical and just run USB and cigarette lighter plugs strategically around the outside of the trailer. Now that's going to come from over here. If you see that cabinet, I'm going to put a little wood trim around the top. Over here it's going to be a door, but that's my electrical cabinet. You can see batteries in there. And a breaker box. All of my electrical is going to be in this cabinet. So this is going to be an electric center with USB plugs, cigarette plugs, all my 12 volt. I have my refrigerator mounted on top of it, and it's set up to be insulated and tucked back in there with this section open as a charging station. Then there's the back door. If you look down here, I have set in place, I have to screw down the mounting plate. It's the Thetford toilet. Sorry about the being jiggly. And my big Kahuna 8-gallon shower container. I'm going to run from that pump line straight up into this. I'm going to have a small 1 to 2.5 gallon propane tank down below that. And then I'll run the shower hose with the shower head. Will hang from that door and I'll shower out the back. So the bathroom is all contained. If I ever want to put a shower in here, I can put a pan where those two are and just enclose that as a shower, but I don't think I'm going to want to. I'm taking advice and counsel from other people who've done this before me and didn't really use their showers, what they say. So rather than put it in and rip it out, I'm going to do this, and hopefully that works. Maybe it'll work, and that'll just be a good solution for keeping my commode over there. Otherwise, anyway, we'll see how it all works out. I'm sure it'll work. Other things. I showed you that I put up these cargo rails with clips with cargo rings so I can strap. And what I have here is a hammock. And that hammock stretches. Again, I'm trying not to bounce you too much. Goes all the way up here to the front kitty corner. Clips right in. Boom. And I've got a hammock for a bed in here. I do have a bed in the van, so I don't really need the bed in here, but at some point I'm going to have to decide between the two probably. Maybe not. Maybe I'll like having both and it's just going to work out for me. Comfortable so far. It's roomy. For a 7x14, I'm getting a lot more usable space than a 14-foot trailer from what you would expect. A lot of storage. I have this whole floor space here open. Plenty of room for a bed. I can put a cot. I can put a bench that folds up against the wall that works as a bed. I have a lot of options that I can do and use that for. If I like sleeping in a hammock, I'm definitely going to try it for a few weeks. And, you know, I've got a bad back, and if it feels comfortable, I know a lot of people with back problems swear by it. What a great solution. It'll just keep space open. You just unclip an end, tie it up on the other side, take your bed and your pillow, put them up in a basket off the floor, and you've got your whole room open. You want to lay down and watch TV, you just lay in your hammock. You kick back. The way the hammock's set up, sorry for the glare, I can use the kitchen counter as a counter for drinks and whatever else. And so far, I'm really happy with this. Any ideas you guys have, please fill me in. I'm going to try and work on a price list. So for those because there are some people here that aren't just friends, I'm going to try and shoot this by Bob, and people trying to build living solutions on the cheap. This is my tiny living on the cheap. None of this has been expensive. The wood for the front counter and the rear cabinet for the electrical, I already had. The carpet that I carpeted the electrical cabinet with, I already had. Polyurethane that I'm doing the countertops with, I already had. Both countertops together with everything to finish them is about $80. I mean, really cheap. The expensive parts are the cabinets and the solar. Even my ice chest, my 40-quart ice chest for a 12-volt compressor fridge is really affordable. Some of you know about it. It's a CCF. I think it's a CCF 40 by Dometic. And there's a site online that sells them for, I don't know, $329, $339, something like that. I'll give you a quick rundown. I've got the water heater back there on the wall. That water heater I found online for $68. Porta potty, $114. I went with the Big Kahuna. I expected something more substantial. It's pretty simple. I'm sure it's going to work great. It gives me a footprint that I was happy with for 8 gallons. Keeps it the center of gravity low. I think it won't be that hard to secure. So it was worth a little extra money. I don't know if it was worth $160, but that's what I paid for it. Sink and faucet, $40, $45 from the Restore, Habitat for Humanity. And then other than that, if you know, $100 or so in trim, and I spent a little extra for the lighting I didn't need to do. Now I realize it would have been better if I didn't. It's set up to connect with my phone, Wi-Fi, which just means it eats more juice than a cheaper LED light. I'm going to have plenty of battery power. I don't think it's going to be an issue. If it is, I'll replace it. Or at least the controller. What else? The little shelf over by the sink, $5. Got it at Goodwill. And I've got a couple of these bags, athletic bags, backpacks, that I've picked up at secondhand stores for $2 to $5 a piece. And I'm using those. And that's really it. So with the cost of the trailer, if I don't include the solar in this, without the solar, but already wired with windows, insulated mostly. You saw the early video, right? You know, you add the paint and the cabinets and everything else. I'm under $7,000 for everything. I'm guessing around 65, but you know, I put a affordable diamond plated tongue box on for storage up front. I'm hoping it all balances out. I think the weight will balance out. Now the solar I'm going a little nuts on. If you add the batteries and the solar up, there's the huge expense here, because I'd much rather spend my money there. I'd like to make sure I have all of that operating. I have more than I need, and that it's scalable. I can expand it to my needs. Everything else is an easy change on the build, and I anticipate there are some things that I'll move around. I've thought a lot of this out. I've spent enough time sitting here trying to figure it out. I'm pretty sure it's going to work okay for me, but it wouldn't surprise me if I decided to move some of the items in here around. Anyway, I'll keep you up to date. Got 11 minutes here. It's about as much as my attention span. Maybe yours is better than mine. And I will try and be a little more regular with videos. By the way, I bought some editing software. I'm going to, you know, I have no experience with it, so don't expect any award-winning videos, but I'm going to try and, you know, make these a little more entertaining. Maybe I'll have a little fun doing it. If not, then I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, but I'm going to try to be a little creative and create some content that might be a little more enjoyable to watch. If you have any questions, please subscribe. Just in the comment section, ask me the questions. If you're interested in following what I'm doing, where I'm going, want to see more progress, go ahead and subscribe. I'm only sending this out pretty much to friends. It's going to be available on YouTube, but I don't expect a lot of people to follow it. That's really not my intention. And we'll see how it goes. Anyway, you know, I'm going to be on the road. I got a lot of friends out there. So if anybody's going to be hitting the road, check in with me. And if we're going to be in the same area, maybe we can cross paths. Love to see a lot of you sooner rather than later. Anyway, I will talk to you all later. Thanks for checking in. And bye.